Well, I was involved with a student space group at Iowa State University called the Iowa State Space Society, which actually started out as an L5 group and then became an NSS group. And by the time I was there, it was just a student group with no particular affiliation. And then we went to the organizer of a SEDS conference at University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, Kurt Cattell. He sent emails to basically every college in the area that they were doing a SEDS conference. This was right after, SEDS really got going again in the early 2000s. And so we went to the SEDS conference at UIUC, and we thought it was amazing. And so we went back and basically decided, like, okay, our group is going to be a SEDS chapter now. So we became a SEDS chapter and went again to the next conference, which I think was at University of Central Florida. And then that was coincidentally about the time that I got out of college. And so I just always a big fan of the group. I was the vice chair for about half of a year of SEDS National, and I was the vice president of the Space Society, and always tried to keep the group as inclusive as possible. We had really good, not just all aerospace engineers, but also getting people from all the other departments that we could at the school. So I've always been a fan of SEDS and the stuff that that the kids are trying to accomplish. And so then once I got into the industry, started coming back. I think this is the third one I've come back to as a from the industry side. It's always just good to come back, and the SEDS conference is one of the most energizing ones. It's full of people who have grand aspirations and have just amazing futures, and it's always great to go somewhere where people think that what you're doing is really awesome. So it's re-energizing for me as well, and also to be able to talk to folks and give what advice I can, which is probably not always good advice, but really try to give back to the group that I got useful stuff out of.
What has impressed you about this particular conference?
This one has been it's good size, which SEDS has gone up and down over the years, depending on who's really running stuff. This one, really good turnout, which is really good. The central ones tend to have really good turnout. So a lot of different chapters. It seems like the list of chapters keeps going up, and there's really good representation here. The organization generally seemed like it went off really well, but having everything in one location turned out to work really well. So it seems like it's just gone, very smoothly as the conference has gone, and it seems like a lot of people have really gotten a lot out of it. So I also participated as a judge in the student business plan competition, which I don't recall that they've done it a few times, but this is the first time I've seen it really up close, and that was really interesting to see, from the judging side, what a business plan, what to look for. So I found that really interesting too.
At this session, tell us a little bit about what you talked about.
I talked about sort of both the vocabulary and sort of the euphemism that gets used a lot in NewSpace, because it's all very experimental. Things often go wrong, and so the industry has come up with a passel of terms of various ways to describe things that didn't go quite the way they were supposed to. Some of them are entertaining, some of them are, unfortunately kind of ways to hide the truth. So I kind of went over some of the more entertaining ones, like the different, phrases of just, some of them are kind of jokes. There's a lot of Monty Python influence in the, NewSpace, and people tend to have, interesting senses of humor. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that, give people an idea of sort of the NewSpace culture that you don't really see until you get inside of one of the companies.
Can you give us a few examples?
Well, like I talked about Magic Smoke, which predates NewSpace by far, but is well accepted here, which is that rather than like electricity running through wires, really it's magic smoke running through the electrical system. And once you let the magic smoke out of components, then they will never work again, kind of thing. And there are things like high-power rocketry is completely full of terms for things that go badly, like CATO, which is a catastrophic failure, and skywriting, which is when the rocket just goes completely crazy across the sky, and all kinds of things like that. Yeah, so there's a variety, and some of them are more serious, like what's called the obituary test, which is like if the thing that you're doing right now, if it went really, really badly and it killed you, would it be, an accident that could not have been foreseen, or would it have been something like you were doing something stupid? And essentially the obituary test is, you know, if your obituary described what you were doing at the time of your death, would it make you look like an idiot, kind of thing. So, and if you are doing something that would have, you know, made you look dumb, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.